Coming up on Mountain News this morning, several leaders came together in London yesterday morning to celebrate a significant infrastructure milestone. And Appalachian Regional Healthcare introduced its new mobile clinic to the Pikeville community at the Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce Lunch and Learn.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this Wednesday, August 13th. It is 6:28 this morning and time for a check of our weather with meteorologist Megan Dusmall. That heat is no joke. The sweltering temperatures, the scalding heat. It's not fun.
Oh, the good news is we do have a little bit of some relief today with the rain that's coming through. It'll leave us slightly cooler as we're heading into the hottest parts of your day. Here's a look at what we're seeing this morning as we do have some active rain. Now, the most active system will be as you're traveling into Dickinson and Wise County, Virginia's. We do see some surrounding rain on the surrounding counties, and then as you travel into portions of Pike and Mingo County, West Virginia, we are seeing just another little round of rain. Now, these rain chances will continue throughout the day. Scattered showers and storms will pick up this afternoon. But in terms of those temperatures, yes, it is a hot day. Only looking at the 70s this morning in Kentucky. And then as we go into Virginia, a little bit cooler in the upper 60s. And then we're looking at the mid 80s as we're heading into the afternoon. So still a hot day, just a little bit cooler than what we saw yesterday and the day before. We'll hit the hottest hours as we're going into about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Amelia.
Crews in Knox County responded to calls of an electric fire at a home in the Hinkle community last night. The Richland Fire Department posted photos from the scene along Riley Fork Road. They say they arrived to find a possible short in the home producing smoke. Firefighters shut off electricity to the house and advised that people leave and contact their landlord. A woman is dead after a jet ski accident on Lake Cumberland. Russell County Search and Rescue says crews responded to the Alligator 1 boat ramp around 6 o'clock yesterday evening. Witnesses say a jet ski crossing the lake crashed into the bank nearby. Crews found the jet ski still running and in gear and found a woman floating in the water nearby. The rescue team says they pulled the woman from the water and transported her to EMS crews who pronounced her dead. A typical morning walk took a terrifying turn for one Mount Sterling woman. And we do want to warn you that some of these details may be hard to hear. According to an arrest citation, it was at Adena Trail where police say suspect 28-year-old Dakota Miles kidnapped and sexually assaulted a woman. We're told by the victim's family that she noticed someone following her and eventually Miles asked her for money. A family member tells us she said she didn't have any money. That's when he allegedly choked her and dragged her to a nearby building where he assaulted her.
And after that, she went and found help and called the police, went to the hospital, got checked out. I would have never thought this would happen to anyone, let alone our own family.
Police say Miles is charged with adult kidnapping, first-degree robbery, and first-degree attempted rape. Miles denied any wrongdoing during interviews with police. He's being held at the Montgomery County Jail. A Laurel County 18-year-old is behind bars after a high-speed chase last week. Deputies say on August 7th, Raymond Cody Carl Asher refused to stop during a traffic stop on Maple Grove Road, driving 90 miles an hour in a 35-mile zone. When officers stopped him, they found that he was under the influence and had a girl in the vehicle. Asher faces multiple charges, including DUI, fleeing or evading police, and several counts of wine endangerment. A Detroit man is charged after an incident at a Laurel County motel. Deputies say 37-year-old Darnell Yarbrough shattered a window on August 8th, then drove away, nearly hitting someone in the parking lot. He was later arrested by London police on unrelated charges. On August 9th, deputies served a warrant charging him with criminal mischief and wanton endangerment. He remains in the Laurel County Correctional Center. New cameras are coming to some of Kentucky's highways work zones. The cameras will record speeders, but an actual officer will still be the one pulling them over. It's all the result of a state law passed earlier this year. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more.
Some highway work zones will soon have new cameras to capture speeders. You'll know a camera is in place by this sign when entering a work zone.
When those lights are flashing and that signage is there, operators of vehicles need to know, both commercial and private vehicles, need to know that automated speed enforcement is active at that time.
Kentucky lawmakers passed House Bill 664 earlier this year, allowing for the cameras instead of troopers or officers to detect speeding.
At its core, this new law is about one thing. It's about one thing, saving lives.
Officials say there were 1,300 work zone crashes last year with 185 injuries and 7 deaths.
Because we are going to be looking and we are going to enforce this law because we want to save lives here in Kentucky. That is the end goal.
Kentucky State Police say that an officer will be stationed somewhere beyond the work zone. You won't get a notification in the mail. You won't get a text message. The way the state law is, an officer must still be the one to pull you over in person. At the onset, only 4 camera devices will be set up, one along Interstate 64 in Shelby County, one in the Lexington area, and others in eastern Kentucky and south central Kentucky.
The goal is not to hand out tickets. It's to prevent fatalities and protect both motorists and construction crews.
Police want to stress an actual officer will still be the one issuing the citation, and if someone gets one another way, it's a sign of fraudulent activity. In Shelby County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The law was named the Jared Lee Helton Act after a highway worker who was killed in 2019. Well, several leaders came together in London yesterday morning to celebrate a significant infrastructure milestone. The Transportation Cabinet was awarded nearly $148 million to widen a nearly 5.9-mile stretch of Interstate 75 between Whitley and Laurel counties. It's designed to minimize congestion, improve traffic safety, and boost the local economy.
We understand there will be short-term disruptions, but the long-term goal is clear: a safer, wider, more efficient I-75 that will serve Laurel and Whitley counties and the Commonwealth for years to come. This is a big step forward for Kentucky, and we're proud to take it together.
Officials said the project has been in the works for around 4 years. They say the goal is to start construction as soon as they can. Appalachian Regional Healthcare introduced its new mobile clinic to the Pikeville community yesterday at the Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce's Lunch and Learn. The mobile clinic was created as a response to the 2022 flood, funded by a grant from the Appalachian Regional Commission as a resource to bridge the gap for healthcare access and serve as an emergency response outreach. The mobile clinic plans to meet the people where they are, bringing primary care, health screenings, physical exams, chronic disease management, and education to communities in need.
Thanks to this Appalachian Regional Commission grant that we received in 2023, this mobile clinic will allow us to do just that, whether it's basic first aid, dehydration response, whatever our communities need, whether it's preventative or in case of an emergency, we will be there.
Health professionals encourage folks to visit the vehicle if they see it parked in their community. The mobile clinic will be at the Shaping Our Appalachian Region Summit later this month. Well, as students head back to school, police are warning parents about a popular first day tradition that could put their kid at risk. Winchester police say back to school signs posted on social media can give away too much personal information. They're advising parents to leave off details like a child's age, teacher, or homeroom to keep strangers from figuring out exactly where a student is located.
Everybody wants to put pictures of their children on social media for their first day of school. With safety of students in mind, we want to make sure that parents understand the importance of not being very detailed in that message.
Police say cyber issues have been on the rise locally and encourage parents to contact social media platforms directly if there is a problem. Well, experts say since school is back in session, it's now a great time to teach kids important money and life skills. From preteens to high schoolers or even young adults going off to college, learning and developing good spending habits can be invaluable. More than half of parents say they regret not talking to their kids about money. Experts say it can be easy as showing them your monthly bills and expenses to make sure they understand.
Besides the fact that a lot of parents don't really give their kids these life skills to learn about money and protecting their information, the schools aren't doing a very good job either. The difference between wants and needs. I mean, we all want a lot of things, and so we need to plan for needs, but people need to save for their wants.
For teens, other lessons include budgeting and saving, whether it's money from an allowance or a first job. Then some more complex topics like taxes, fees, and interest. Well, as those folks head back to the classroom, some kids may be unaccounted for. House Bill 16611 is aimed at cracking down on absenteeism. It went into effect one full school year ago. The bill tasks truancy officers to alert county attorneys when a student hits 15 unexcused absences. Prosecutors then decide whether to charge parents.
We do have parents who pull their students out of school. Sadly, I do have parents who withdraw their students during the school year because they know that they're facing truancy charges.
Nichols says HB 611 also scared some parents straight. Once they learned of possible consequences, some students returned to class or came with excused absences. Well, with most kids on their way back to school, it's also a good time to get them vaccinated. A doctor with Cleveland Clinic says all of the vaccines recommended by the CDC have been around for years and have proven to be effective. Despite the evidence showing they're safe, some parents still remain hesitant. The doctor says skipping vaccinations not only puts your child at risk, but other kids too.
There are some children who unfortunately are not able to get vaccines because of a medical condition, because of medications that they're taking. And for all babies at certain ages, they're too young for certain vaccines. So when all of us get our immunizations, we're helping to protect those more vulnerable children that don't have the ability to get the vaccine themselves.
Side effects are generally mild and complications are rare. She says the longer your child remains unvaccinated, the higher their risk of potentially getting sick is. Well, the discussion in fiscal court on how to fund 911 for Madison County residents continues. The fiscal court repealed an ordinance of the funding mechanism of the 911 fee. They recommended to move forward on a new method of collection, that fee via water meters. The county is running out of time to nail down a plan, with federal funds that have helped pay the fee set to run out September 30th.
You know, I'm not saying we want to rush anything, but
there's a timeline.
There is a timeline, or we're going to have to start coming out of general fund dollars, surplus, what have you.
The next fiscal court meeting will be held August 26th, and we're told the next meeting will take a deeper dive into the potential extra fee on Madison County residents' water bill.
We're still seeing those hotter temperatures this morning in the low 70s all across eastern Kentucky. Our Virginia counties, though, a little bit cooler, upper 60s and low 70s. Now, we will see slightly cooler than average temperatures as we head into the afternoon, but it's still going to be hot. We're sitting mainly in the low to mid 80s for the day. You'll see the cooler temperatures as you travel more towards the south and southeast towards Virginia. And that's because we're going to have some rain throughout the day. Right now, we are tracking a little bit of rain moving into our Wayne County, Kentucky. And then as we go closer to our eastern Kentucky counties and our Virginia counties, we're going to see that rain continuing over the next couple of hours. So here's what you need to know. In the morning, you could see those chances for rain on the way to school, temperatures in the low 70s. But on the way back home, we're going to see the chances for scattered showers, temperatures in the low to mid 80s. Amelia.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:41. A new technique during heart surgery is improving recovery time and reducing the need for heavy painkillers. We've got the details.
Travel